Welcome to another day of Bhagavad Gita Sadhana. This is a very interesting one for me because for some reason I can't see if you can see anything. Usually whatever you see on the camera, I can see on my monitor. And I remember the last time this happened, it was like, I can't see anything. Nobody else can either. So I shut everything down only to find out later that you can see me fine, but I just can't see you. So I don't know. Can you see me? Can I see you? We'll find out. But I hope you will stick with me, whatever your visual experience is, because for today's Gita Sadhana, you can definitely get a lot from using your ears. And actually, this can feed into today's theme, of course. So we're continuing the exploration of what's your path in life or yoga, and we're looking at chapter 17. This is called the yoga of the discerning of the three types of faith. And we talked about that yesterday, the idea that for different people, life appears differently, and we have to approach life differently. And one of our big challenges is to become honest and to allow ourselves to be fully seen. How ironic today. And actually, my name, my spiritual name, Atmadarshan, means vision of the true self. It's really hard to see yourself, like today. And sometimes we rely on other people to help us. And Krishna is giving Arjun kind of this outer point of reference to know himself better, like holding up a mirror of words rather than of glass. So chapter 17 is kind of about finding what works for you, because we're getting to the end of the Gita. Krishna is an excellent teacher, a great guru. And that can mean that instead of trying to hold on to his student and say, well, now you have to keep learning this from me, keep learning this, he's starting to go, okay, this is how you fly free. This is how you recognize yourself. And also, let's clear up some misunderstandings you may have so that when you practice on your own, you're fine. You can do it. You can start to rely on your inner guide. The one thing that comes up in chapter 17 is the idea of tapas, or austerity. And this is one of the niyamas of Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras. It's got a connotation of heat, that word, like going through the fire. It's been likened to thinking of yourself as a clay pot that needs to be fired in a kiln to hold the experiences of yoga and the spiritual life. And a lot of times when people hear austerities, well, in the Mahabharata, you'll hear about people standing on one foot for months at a time. That's considered an austerity. Even standing on one foot for hours at a time. Some of us might think, well, just standing on it for minutes at a time will be exceptional. In modern yoga, we can think of it as like hot yoga, or yoga where you're really pushing yourself to get stronger, to get more stretchy, whatever. It's this striving. And for people who Krishna has defined as being more rajasic, people who are passionate in their activities, who are go, 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 who are striving, that's often what happens. People can end up hurting themselves with physical austerities. In chapter 17, we're invited to consider other austerities that we can incorporate into our daily life. So if you don't have time to go stand for months on end on a mountain in a pose, that's okay. And actually, from my perspective, I think these austerities might be harder. Well, let's hear from 17:15, the verse about a specific kind of austerity, a verbal austerity that Krishna recommends to Arjun and thus to all of us. Speech which does not cause distress is truthful, pleasantly for the good, and the chanting of sacred texts are called verbal austerities. Hey, so we're doing some austerities right now with this chanting. But this can be harder for many of us in life than doing a tough yoga pose or going into a big stretch. Today, you can explore this as a possible path for your yoga. Can you limit your speech to that which does not cause distress? For example, gossip or looking at the news on your phone and going, "Did you see this?" Or saying something that is not necessary. You might think it's helpful, but you know it's got a bit of a bite to it. Like, oh, sleep in those clothes last night? Ha ha, just joking, but not really. Uh, which is also truthful and for the good. And if you can do that, you are doing major austerities, my friend. Major austerities. I invite you to try that today. As we do our meditation, you can employ a mudra called mushtikam mudra, or mudra of the hands, sometimes called mudra of the fists, because you make fists, thumbs on the outside, you join these middle knuckle things together. Not this part, right in the middle there. And then thumbs up and together. And that can go right in front of your solar plexus region. This is recommended by Joseph LePage and his co-author Lillian as representing tapas, this energy, this inner fire that can motivate us. Let's see how it goes. And by the way, today's practice is dedicated to Carma, a lovely person in a yoga teacher training program through Rachel Lundberg that we had a discussion last night on yoga philosophy, and she had many good questions about karma. It was a delight, and also a challenge for me to speak truthfully and positively to sustain their interest. Instead of going, karma can be a real downer, right? No, how can we work with it positively? I still don't know if you can see me, but let's do our balance pose standing on one foot, not for months at a time. Let's switch. All right. And we'll sit for our contemplative practice. Mudra. You can contemplate something. You can contemplate especially your inner speech to yourself. Do you say things inwardly that are pleasantly for the good, that are truthful, that are helpful? You can start with your mind because the thoughts in the mind first and then out through the lips. Let's do 5.
Welcome back. One of the wonderful things about going through the Gita is we have a chance to check our understanding. Arjuna asks Krishna the same questions over and over, but his approach to the answers is markedly different, how he receives them. And I'm just thinking about the first time this happened, where all I saw was a blank screen when I thought I was broadcasting, and I had such a panic. And the words going through my head was, I failed, this is horrible, nobody's going to watch anymore, blah, 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 blah. And today I'm like, well, this is what happens. I'm more verbally austere, perhaps. This is what happens. It's going to be what it's going to be. And people are going to watch or not. Thank you for watching. I hope you found some effect of this sadhana in your life. And we'll find more ways to put yoga into your day tomorrow. Until then.